All right, so it has now been 1 week and half a day since Trump has become president. He was inaugurated on Monday, January 20th at noon, almost right on the dot. And right now it is Monday the 27th at 8 o'clock p.m. So just about one whole entire week and a half a day. Anyways, before we get started into what I really want to say, I thought it was kind of funny because MLK Day was also, I should say, on January 20th. And I feel like Trump's inauguration just absolutely overshadowed that, which is pretty awesome. You know, because personally, I feel like he's probably way more important than MLK. A whole bunch of reasons. One is because, you know, our country is just a disaster now because this last administration was an absolute joke. You know, we had literally a retard running things. Who, you know, some guy who couldn't think for himself or anything. That was supposed to be our president. Oh, okay. You also had a VP that was absolute trash. It's funny because, not to get too ahead of myself, but border czar. She was supposed to be the border czar, and she sucked at it. Now we have a real border czar. What's his name? Tom Holmes, and he's tearing it up. So, you know, that's what makes it way more better than MLK Day. Plus, the changes that Trump has been and is going to make are going to matter for hopefully a lot more than just these 4 years. I mean, the plans that he has, it's going to make things just absolutely sick as long as no morons, no Democrats get in and just destroy it all like they love to do. And hopefully the country as a whole is just like, you know what? Republicans seem to be on a better trajectory than Democrats. Let's just keep them in office because that would help things out too, you know? Anyways. So what I'm saying about MLK Day, though, why I feel like it's also not that important is because I don't think what Martin Luther King tried to advocate for really matters in today's world, you know? It's almost like the exact opposite of what he was all about is what's going on. You know, he was, I have a dream that someday we will be judged by the character, you know, by our character and not by the color of our skin. And what do they want nowadays? They want to be judged by the color of their skin. That's what DEI was all about. DEI was all about, oh, you're black? Okay. You're going to immediately get advantages over anybody else because you're black. Oh, you're this minority? Okay, you're going to get advantages because you're this. And you're not just a white person or whatever. So, you know, it kind of went the opposite direction. So it almost like doesn't even matter what he tried to advocate for. I also think it probably doesn't help that like his family hasn't really done anything. I mean, doesn't he have a grandson or something alive? Isn't there? No, his son, actually. Never mind. He was junior. His son's the third. This guy's still alive, and I don't think he really does anything to further the cause. So, you know. But the other reason why I feel like it doesn't really matter for MLK Day is I've always had a little suspicion about him. Way back when I was a kid, you know, I didn't fully understand, but I always thought, who is this guy? Why do we care about him for so much to give him a day? And I was like, is he old? And then I realized he was, you know, recent. Like he died in the 60s. And I'm like, okay, so he's not like a real old figurehead or anything. He's a more recent thing. I mean, to put it into perspective, my grandparents didn't have Martin Luther King Day when they were in school. That's how recent this is. So I'm like, okay. And then as I got a little older, you know, I understood what he was about a little. I was like, why does this guy get a day, though? Is it just because he was murdered? But I was like, yeah, but how many other, like, significant individuals have been murdered? They didn't get any days for themselves. So I always just found it weird and suspicious. And I also kind of thought that Martin Luther King was probably like, how do I put this? I don't know, almost more of like a problematic individual than anybody that you should be celebrating. What I mean is by problematic is I feel like he was probably somebody who was just like whiny and stuff, you know, doing his marches. Oh, we need equality and blah, blah, blah. And it was probably just like, oh my God, why don't you just shut up? Like, I mean, I guess things probably were worse back then than they are now. Like now when people complain, it's just like, can you shut your mouth? Like there is 100% equality with you guys. Relax. You know, if anything, you guys are the ones that want the inequalities. You want the DEI and all that separation. Like, if it was not for your dumb antics, everything would be exactly the same. So maybe back in the day, fine, it was a little more rigid. But I just feel like it probably was kind of annoying. Like, you know, him doing his march on the Capitol building with the or whatever it was, the White House with those million people. It was probably like, oh, here we go. What do you expect me to do? I can't just change things overnight. Why are you bringing this huge crowd of people here? But anyhow, turns out, anyways, I've more recently heard, within this week, I've heard, yeah, he actually was kind of a piece of crap. I guess he was into, weird sex parties, kind of like Diddy. He was basically Diddy before Diddy. So it's like, oh, okay, so yeah, my thoughts kind of were right. I guess he's also dabbled in, pedo-type stuff, too, from what I hear. I don't know. I can't really take this as solid information, because it's just some stuff I've heard kind of through the grapevine on social media. But still, I'm like, well, maybe that's why I've always had a weird vibe about him and always thought things. The other thing I think too is, look, he's the one that gets a holiday after him, statues and all this. And it's like, look what they usually like to honor, like George Floyd. This guy was a career criminal, a total piece of crap of an individual, just a drag in society, waste of space, avid drug abuser, extreme deadbeat dad, just a worthless individual. And now look at him. Monuments have been made and all this, and George Floyd, and it's like, this is what you celebrate? This is your hero? The most bottom of the barrel individual that you could scrape out? Hey, look, I found something in there. Well, dig it out. I'm trying. Oh, look, it's George. We gotta make statues out of that. So anyways, it just makes me wonder, he got a statue and all this, a holiday, but let's compare him to somebody that I feel like is probably more of a solid individual, which would be Malcolm X. They don't care about him, but wasn't he a lot more smarter and a lot more, not smarter, but more civil, and his thoughts were more pragmatic and stuff. And it's like, yeah, nobody thinks about him anymore. He kind of just gets forgotten, but Martin Luther's the one that everybody remembers. And I'm like, I don't know, based on how things are nowadays, maybe there was similar back in the day too, and it's just the leftists making a narrative. Oh, we'll pick this guy instead of him, because at the end of the day, Malcolm X did criticize liberalism and stuff. He said that I forget his line, but he has a really good quote talking about how liberalism leads to the decay of society. So of course the left isn't gonna like that. But Martin Luther, I guess he must have been more lefty, so they're like, okay, yeah, but we like this guy. I don't know. But anyways, back to Trump. That's what the whole point of this is. Just went on a little tangent there. Yeah, I feel like this is exactly what we all wanted. All of us that voted for him. And seriously, people who didn't vote for him should grow a brain and stop being stupid. And think about real life issues. I mean, geez, all Democrats have, literally all they had was abortion. That's what you care about most in your country? Is abortion? There's so many real life issues going on for people that already exist. Okay, what I mean by people that already exist is a baby doesn't really exist yet. It's still growing in your belly. There's people already that exist, living, struggling, and you're worried about, I can't potentially kill an unborn baby that I don't want? And that's your basis for a country? Get real, get a job. Clearly, people that only worry about abortion don't have anything going on. They're losers. You can't have a job, you can't have a family, you can't have anything if that's what you're worried the most about. I mean, some idiots do actually have this, all the retards on The View, but they're also a bunch of semi-senile, post-menopausal women that are just kind of probably bitchy because they hang out with each other all the time. And, they don't know. Their combined IQ is barely 25. So they don't know. They're just saying something that sounds good to say. But it's yeah, I don't know. You got to look at the bigger picture. Look at these people that with all these disasters. In Hurricane Helene in North Carolina. They're still stranded and stuff and homeless and struggling and trying to figure out life. This happened in the summer. It's deep into winter now. There's been several snowstorms in that region and everything. This happened in the summer. It was warm when this first happened. Nothing's been taken care of, though. Or, look at the people in Maui. We don't hear anything about what's going on over there, but I'm sure it's still a disaster from what happened over the summer. And Where else is there issues? There's one other place that I'm forgetting, right? But still, my point is there's real life issues to worry about, and these people are worried about being able to kill their baby because, forbid if you try any other method. Oh, let's just not have sex. I don't want to get pregnant. Oh, make sure you put a condom on first. Oh, let me go and try to get some birth control. Oh, let me try a million other methods that doesn't involve just this as my only resort. Oh, look, we live right next to a state that allows abortions. Okay, I guess I'm fine regardless. Like, they act like it's totally gone and there's no other option. So stupid. But anyways, yeah, so Trump's come in and he's just torn things up in his first week, and it's pretty crazy how much work he's put in already. I mean, and that's the other one, the wildfires. How did I forget that? So, like, one, he's been to North Carolina already, come up with a plan. He's already talking about revamping FEMA because obviously they failed miserably. I don't know why that came out stupidly. Hawaii, like I said, I don't really know what's going on there. I haven't heard him go down there to do anything, so maybe Hawaii's fixed itself. I don't really know. But, he's been to North Carolina. He's been to California because Newsom's a failure. And so is the mayor. Oh, God, the mayor. He's had, like, a round table with them. The mayor was an absolute failure. She's an idiot. She needs to lose her post sooner than later. Way sooner than later, because she sucks. And yeah, he's done all that just there. Then there's all the other things he's done. His executive orders to, release the CIA secret files of JFK. And speaking of Martin Luther, him and RFK Sr. And he's also opened up drill baby drill so that we can get more oil going instead of these stupid green initiatives that are just brain dead. It was just implemented with no strategy as to how it would happen. Like, there's a lot of infrastructure that needs to be considered before you can try to go full green, and we don't have that infrastructure. I mean, I've said this a million times. California can't even handle air conditioners in summer without a brownout. You think it can handle everyone charging their cars? And not only that, but electric cars just suck. They get like 300 miles on a full charge. Like, oh, okay, cool. You know what my car can get on a full tank? 624 miles. Why would I want a electric vehicle that gets half as far as my car can get on a tank? Then, because there's no infrastructure for this, what if I was going somewhere far and my car needs a charge and it's like, uh-oh, I don't know where there's a charging station. You don't have to worry about that with gas stations. They're everywhere. I mean, maybe not in the Midwest where it's like open and barren, but if you're a semi-populated enough area, there's plenty of gas stations. Every exit has a gas station. You don't have to worry. Oh, when's the next exit? We need gas. Now, does the GPS tell us where the next charging station is? We're getting pretty low. The other thing is, I don't really know how much it costs to charge your car, but, a lot of people that have the electric vehicles, they try to laugh, oh, I don't have to pay for gas. I don't care what gas prices are. Yeah, well, do you care what the electric prices are? Because energy is pretty expensive nowadays, so how much is it costing you to charge your dang car all the time? Probably once every 2 to 3 days you got to charge your car. You know how often I go to the gas station? Once a week. Also, to charge your car takes, what, half an hour? A full hour? Who knows? You know how long it takes me to fill up my tank at the gas station? Anywhere between 5 and 7 minutes. I take that over half an hour or a full hour, just standing around wasting time. It's funny because there's a charging station at a mall that I frequent, and there's people there always charging their cars, and they're just kind of like standing around looking bored. And it's like, yeah, well, that's what happens when you buy a stupid electric vehicle. Now you gotta stand around wasting time waiting for your car to charge up. Yeah, good choice there, right? No regrets. And that's the other thing too. A lot of people, like, at least if they get Teslas, they get the Tesla charging thing, and they slap that down at their house. Well, that's like another dumb accessory that you need to have and have it hooked up properly and get an electrician and everything. So you buy a car and you also need to call up an electrician to come to your house so that then he can install the charger for you. Like, that's just annoying. I don't want to deal with that. I want to go to a gas station where the infrastructure is already built in and all I got to do is pull up, get my gas, and leave. But anyways, so yeah, back to what I was saying. Trump, he's done the drill baby drill. I hear that I don't know if it's Canada or where it is, but they're already talking about trying to get plans going to reignite the Keystone Pipeline, which that's only going to bring a lot of good jobs and stuff. So you're not going to have people... Wait, what am I trying to say? I was just saying you're not going to have people struggling. I don't know what I'm saying there. What I mean is you're going to have people with really good jobs. So, like, you know, it's gonna take a few years too. Yeah, it's not gonna be forever, so it's not like a permanent job. It's almost like a temporary job, but it'll be a really good job while it's going, and you can employ a lot of people. I mean, I don't know how far they're doing the Keystone Pipeline, but you know, I'm sure it's more than just like a few miles. It's probably a few hundred miles, maybe a few thousand miles. I don't know. So that's gonna need enough employees, enough workers to do everything that needs to be done between transporting the pipes and the digging and the this and the that. So, you know, that's solid. What else has he done? He's done, all these morons, all these illegals being sent back to their countries. That's a big one. You know, this terrible, worthless Biden regime just let everybody just come on in. Don't check anything, just come on in. And now we're rounding them up and sending them back. Oh, you're not from here? All right, see ya. Oh, you came here illegally last week? Yep, well, we don't need you. Bye. Oh, you're a criminal from another country? Well, I see why you ran from there. Well, you got to go back, because we sure don't want you. Like, it's awesome. One thing I was also thinking is kind of funny is all these ICE agents under Biden's regime, they basically were useless. They weren't doing anything. They just kind of had the uniforms on, and it was just like, well, I guess I'm supposed to just let you in. Now, all of a sudden, as of last week, now they're like hardcore working. You know, they're going around rounding up everybody, going up to Boston, going to Vermont, going everywhere, just rounding up these pieces of crap to send them back to their own country. It's kind of funny how their job changed. They went from having like an easy federal job to now actually working real hard. But from what I also understand, I'm sure they love it because ICE, or at least the border security is ICE. You know, they supported Trump. Remember, back in the debates, Biden tried to claim that he had the full support of them, and then, like, immediately they sent out a tweet saying, no, you don't. So, you know, they support Trump, which means they also want this border security. I mean, that makes sense. You go to become an ICE agent. I don't think you join that organization because you're like, I really want to have all these illegals coming in, and I want to make sure that they can come in easily. No, you join ICE because you're like, yeah, I'm about my country. F people trying to sneak in. I want to catch them and make sure that I'm preventing criminals and all that from getting into my country. So now with Trump, they're able to do what they want to do. I hope, though, that they get a little bit of a raise because, like I said, they've basically been doing nothing for the last 4 years, and now out of nowhere they have to work hard. So, like, it just doesn't seem fair for their pay. Their pay was X amount for doing nothing. Now they got to work a lot, so I feel like they should get a little bit of a boost. I know that their pay was supposed to be for doing a lot, but since the last 4 years it normalized that doing nothing, I think it's only fair they get some kind of an increase to make up for the difference in their workload now. But anyways, yes, that's a huge one. What else? Oh, yeah, this is kind of stupid. This should not have to be a thing for any country. But, you know, he's established it that there's only 2 genders now, so that's big. No more of this dumb, non-binary nonsense. It's just, now basically you can say, you know what, F you. I don't care what you think you are. It doesn't matter. Our national policy, our executive order, our law, if you will, of the land is that there's 2 genders. So you can try to claim that you're some dumb nonsense, but there's nothing that is enforcing me to have to play along. I mean, I never had to in the first place, but maybe my job might have been like, but now it's like, F you. Government overrides my job, so they say that there's 2, so good. I get to live in reality again. In conjunction with that, DEI has been dismembered, so that's fantastic. Now instead of people getting jobs just because, oh, I'm black, so I got the position. Now it's, okay, you're black, cool, I don't care about that. What are your qualifications? What school did you go to? How were your grades? Do you have any experience? if you do have experience, who was it with? Was it a big company where you might have actually gotten a lot of experience? No, a small company you might get a lot of experience, because that means you have to do more of the job yourself. So was it a small company or was it a huge company where you did one little job and, you had a huge team, so everybody did a little slice? Instead of, oh, you're black, you're hired. Oh, I didn't tell you anything about me. That's okay, you're black, so you're hired. Okay. So yeah, it's good. People actually be getting positions based on their actual qualifications, not just because they fit a checkbox. Oh, I hated the checkbox days. It's like Kamala. She was the biggest checkbox holder of them all. She was Czech woman, Czech Jamaican, Czech Indian, and I don't mean Native American, I mean Indian. Czech, she has darker skin, so when needed in a pinch, she can claim to be black, which she actually did pull that one out. Let's see, what else? Czech, we can say that she's in an interracial relationship because her husband's white. And also, Czech, we can say that in comparison to Joe Biden and a lot of the Democrats, she's young. I mean, she's 60, but, compared to Nancy Pelosi, who's, 82? Biden, who's 81? Chuck Schumer, who's 76? And all these other guys, 60's a spring chicken. So, yeah, that checks, 6 boxes that she had? And look at her. She wasn't qualified at all for her position. Absolute failure as a VP. Totally retarded. Couldn't speak. Everything was word salad. Everything, if it wasn't word salad, was just the same talking points over and over and over again. I mean, it's funny because there's compilations from her rallies where she's literally saying the same exact thing every single time. Something like, if you blah, 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 then you don't deserve to be behind the seal of the President of the United States. She says it the same way, too. Always with the same inflection, same points where she raises up, same finger poking the air. It's ridiculous. She's just an actor performing her script. She's terrible for a candidate. And that's, as a side note, why she lost. A lot of people on the left try to claim, oh, if she was a white man, she would have won. No, she wouldn't have. Or he, I guess, if she was a guy. No, he wouldn't have. She lost because she sucked. She had no policy. She was not presidential at all. I mean, Biden sucked, and somehow Kamala was worse. And then what's even weirder is somehow Kamala found someone even worse than her. Tim Walz? Oh my God, that guy was even worse. It's how do you guys keep managing to find bottom of the barrel? I feel like you keep finding crappier options. It all started with Barack. Barack sucked. But then Biden was worse. But then it was just he's only the VP. Who cares? Then somehow this loser got installed as the P instead of the VP. And he chose a trash vice president. And it was wow, okay, what a terrible choice there. Can't get much worse than that. And Kamala was oh, yeah, I can. Watch this. Tim Walz. Then what? If Tim Walz made it to the presidential stage, who would he have picked? Gavin Newsom? Honestly, I don't know if Gavin's worse than him. He's probably a little more competent, so in a way he's slightly an upgrade, but barely. But yeah, Tim would have found someone significantly worse. Wow, I didn't think you could get worse than you. I guess that's the Democrat Party's MO, though. It's so weird. The Democrats have easy street. All it is fail up. Hey, you want to make it in high places? Just do a bad job. We'll promote you. But it's funny because for Republicans, you actually have to do good. You want to get a position, you got to work hard for that. You got to prove yourself. You got to have good policies, have a good track record. Democrats, be a failure. You'll get promoted. Don't worry. Hey, Biden, be a complete failure your whole entire time as a senator. Suck as VP. You'll make it to the presidency someday. Don't you worry. Hey, Kamala, be even more of a failure than Biden was. Don't worry, you'll make it to the VP and be able to be a contender for presidency. You'll lose, but still, you make it to the top spot when it comes to fighting for the position, at least. 2 people end up vying for the spot. You'll be one of the 2. How? This broad couldn't even handle San Francisco. You think she's going to be able to handle the whole entire country? No. But anyways, what did this tangent spur from? What was I talking about? Oh yeah, getting rid of DEI and all that. So yeah, that's great too. That's fantastic to get rid of DEI, get rid of the dumb transgender bullshit, and just have it be normal. 2 genders. The only issue that I say with the 2 genders is it still actually does allow for trans nonsense, because some idiot could be trans, and I'm still saying there's 2 genders. I'm a trans man, or I'm a trans woman. So it still allows for that, but it just gets rid of all the they, them, ze, zer, blah, 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 non-binary, I'm an idiot, play along with my stupid mind games. But still, I guess it's a start, you know. Couldn't jump in the deep end. He jumped in the 5-foot section. So, okay, you're mostly covered. But anyways, what else has he done? I don't know. It's just crazy. He's done so much more in 1 week than Biden did in 4 years. Literally. I mean, yeah, Biden did a lot of bad stuff, but I don't know. I mean, maybe Biden's done just as much. It's just Biden was negative, so you didn't feel good about it. Trump's done a ton of stuff, and it's been positive, like really boosting the country up. He's also like reinstating us to be taken seriously. Again, under Biden, we were a joke. You know, countries knew they could get away with anything with Biden. He was a little wussy, brain-dead retard puppet. And his cabinet was all about, well, let's just weigh the options. Let's see. And then they'd come up with a stupid deal. The deal would get rejected. Then they'd come back, rework it. And at the end of the day, the deal ended up sucking. But the other country would agree to it because it was good for them. It was just trash for us. Like, okay, we'll agree to this and we'll pay you this much money. Like a bribe for them to agree to our crappy deal. Now, Trump's just like, I don't give an F. You don't want to work with me? That's fine. Like this whole situation with Colombia. He tried to return those Colombian criminals, and the president of Colombia was like, yeah, I'm not going to take them. So Trump was like, oh, okay, well, that's fine. I'll just issue 25% tariffs on everything. I'll also suspend, passports and all that to and from Colombia. I'll also do this, do that. He did a whole bunch of stuff. He's like, there you go. You don't want to take your people back? That's okay. And then the Colombian president quickly was like, okay, never mind, my bad. We'll take them. And then he went and sent out his own personal presidential plane to pick them up. And it was like, yeah, well, that's what happens when you have somebody real that's not fucking around like this last administration. Just like, oh yeah, his whole thing in Davos too. When he gave that speech in Davos. First off, it was funny because he didn't show up in person. So it was kind of like a passive-aggressive F-you to them. Like, you're not important enough for me to actually be there. You know what I mean? It's like the line in Spider-Man Homecoming when he's talking to the Iron Man suit. If you actually cared, you'd really be here. And then Tony comes out. That's like that. Trump's just like, yeah, this dumb organization isn't important enough for me to actually be there. I'll just give you a little... a Skype call, a Teams meeting. But still, he called out a whole bunch of idiots. He called out the moron CEO of Bank of America. He called out all the other countries for what? Like not paying their fair share in NATO or something. Just called everything out. And then when he was done, it was just like, okay, I'm all done here. And they were just all left like, well then. And it's like, yep. I mean, what are you going to do? We have the biggest military in the world. We have a huge economy because we're a big country. Like, what are you going to do? You don't like it? Tough. You have to deal with it. You literally have no option because you don't have the capability to do anything to us. And anything that you could try to do to us, we can just one-up it. Oh, you want to put some sanctions or tariffs on us? That's okay. We can put worse sanctions and worse tariffs on you, and it's going to affect you a lot greater than it's going to affect us. So, okay. And so, yeah. I mean, it's just been great. You know, and of course you got idiots like Harry Sisson. Oh, how do you feel, MAGA, that you got played? Egg prices aren't down yet. This isn't down. That's not down. Yeah, you were promised all this and blah, blah. It's like, oh my God, Harry, shut up. Like, you're an idiot. Yes, the prices haven't come down in a week. I'd hope not. It's going to take time. Give it at least 6 months. It'll get there. It's not something that just happens overnight. It's not a mandate like, oh, you're going to charge less on everything. It gets there when energy gets cheaper. when it costs less to actually produce these products and ship them and stuff, then it can get less because they don't need to make as much money to get the products to the consumer. Duh. And with Drill Baby Drill and the Keystone Pipeline potentially reopening up, that'll help get those energy costs down. But yeah, currently, I'd say Trump is making everybody that voted for him very satisfied. I mean, so far he's been a politician who actually keeps his word. Every politician lies. They say what they think you want to hear, and then they never do it. They say just enough to get your vote and get elected, and then they're like, all right, cool, now that I'm in office, I'll just do what I want. And it's like, oh, okay, I'm so glad I voted for you for this and that when you were just lying. But Trump, he's been pretty real, 2016, he said, I'll build the wall for Mexico. Started building that wall. Now he said all this stuff, I'm going to make America great again. We're going to send back all the criminals. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. Boom, he's been doing it. That's another one I just thought of he did. I guess I didn't know about this until just recently. I mean, like a few hours ago, I learned this. I guess he made it so that, you know how normally they say the more you make, the more they take? And that largely applies to like overtime as well. You make overtime and it almost doesn't matter because you're making a lot more on overtime and they just zap the F out of your overtime pay. Well, I guess now what Trump's done is he's made it so that I think there's no tax that comes out on any overtime pay you make. So now, if you have a job that you work a lot of overtime, you're going to be feeling so much more rich now. I'm salary, so that's not going to affect me, but geez, this is one of the very few times I wish I had one of those kind of jobs. Because this is going to be awesome for those people working all that overtime and it's just money in their pocket. Instead of the government stealing it from them, they're going to feel so rich. And then, same as the no tax on tips. I think he actually installed, what's the word I'm looking for? Instated, right? I don't know. I think he made that happen. So all these people that work with tips, they're not having taxes on tips anymore either, like he said in his campaign. So that's two money things that are awesome. Imagine somebody that works for a restaurant or a bar or something who regularly gets overtime. Like, they're going to feel so much richer now. No longer needing to put their tip amount down for their pay to be taxed. They're not going to get taxed on their overtime. They're going to have a ridiculous amount of extra money now. They're going to feel like they got a huge raise. They didn't. It's the same money, but just with these little leverages, it's going to be awesome for them. It almost makes me want to learn bartending and get a second job as like a bartender. See what I can pull in. I mean, strippers, I guess, will be doing a lot better, too. Their whole pay is centered around tips. But yeah, I don't know. He's just been doing a lot of awesome stuff. It's been really cool, and it's been 1 week. I look forward to what's going to what's going to happen in the coming weeks and coming months, even. Of course, though, you got some morons that, for some reason, see it as so horrible. Like I hear AOC and someone else are trying to like file articles of impeachment, and it's like, are you serious? I don't think it's going to get anywhere because it's a largely red cabinet and all that. Not cabinet, but his the branches are largely red, so I don't think it's going to get anywhere. But it's still just like, are you kidding me right now? Biden was a horrible president, very corrupt and all that. Nobody wanted to file any impeachment against him. He literally is a traitor, but he was able to get away with it. But you guys want to try to file impeachment on Trump already for what? For what now? I don't even remember. All I know is it's something really dumb, like broad. Relax. Like, AOC is such an idiot. Next time that her position's up for grabs, somebody else needs to be voted in. New York, smarten up. Vote someone else in. Like, you put the dumbest idiot in there. And I mean, she is dumb. She used to just be, speaking of bartender, she just was a bartender before. She was nothing. She's very low IQ. And yeah, wants to pull this nonsense all the time. Well, I'm going to do articles of impeachment on him. Okay, for what, stupid? What do you think that you know so well that deserves to be impeached? You don't even know your name. That's why you go by AOC. Like, come on. But anyways, Yeah, I wish I could remember more of his things he's done. I know he's done a lot of day one executive orders were awesome, and just little things that keep trickling in now. I just don't understand the people that have a problem with him, though. Like Harry Sisson had a live stream that I didn't see it on TikTok or wherever it was, but I saw Liberal Hive Mind made a video on it, and like he's got a backdrop that says Trump is horrible or something. Debate me on this, and it's like, horrible? Why? You know, anybody with a brain and who cares about the country and lives here day to day and works here and is trying to survive here, you know he's not horrible. I don't understand why the left thinks that actual horridness is good, but good is bad. It makes no sense to me. Biden, terrible, failure, but he's great, right? Especially according to Harry. But then Trump, oh, he's bad. Oh, he wants to make the country awesome for everyone. Oh my God, that's so terrible. Why would, how could you support that? Makes no sense. Just like anybody else who's like, even people that voted for Kamala, now that he's in office, I still don't understand how you can't see it and be like, you know what, maybe I was wrong. Things aren't as bad as I thought. You know, it's funny too, because all the left wants to do is call him Hitler and all this, and act like he was so terrible. Oh, he's fascist. Oh, he's this. But now look, they're all like normal with him. They're shaking his hand. You know, Barack that time. What was it? I don't know. It must have been Jimmy Carter's funeral. You know, Barack was joking around with him. It's like, oh yeah, really? Hitler, huh? But you have no problem giggling at jokes with him. I think if you really thought he was that horrible, you wouldn't even want to talk to him, never mind laugh with him. But that's the left, and all the people that follow into the left are just dumb, and they don't see it. It's funny because they'll call people on the right dumb because a lot of them are blue-collar people, and, oh, you're not educated in all this. And they want to act like people on the right are in a cult, or you're in the Trump cult. But then it's like, you guys are in a cult. You're in the Democrat cult. We support Trump because we support his policies and stuff. It's not just Trump that we're supporting. We like what's behind him. It's like people are already gearing up for who they want to see next. J.D. Vance or what the heck's his name? Why am I drawing a blank? Ron DeSantis. You know, and it's because of their proven track record that we like. Ron's been awesome for Florida. So what he did for Florida, we think he could do really well for the country. J.D. Vance. You know, he kind of, to me, was like a no-name before, but, you know, he's really shaping up. He does awesome in the interviews. It's funny how he's always shutting down these idiots. And, you know, he's been pretty solid so far during the campaign and even now. Yeah, not as solid as Trump, who's the president, but Vance is holding his own as well. And that's what people like, not just, oh, well, he was with Trump, so we support him. We don't know why, we just do. That's you guys on the left. Okay, I'm riding with Biden until the end. Okay, now it's Kamala. Okay, I will vote for her. Like, why do you support her? Because I'm told to. Like, that's you guys. At least us, we say, oh, we support Trump because he wants to do this and this and this and this and this and this. You know, it's not just, oh, I don't know, Fox News said that we should like him. Like you guys basically do. Oh, Rachel Maddow told me Trump was bad. Duh. This butch-haired lesbian told me Trump was bad, so I'm going to listen to her. She must know what she's talking about. Like, oh, okay, good argument there. But yeah, so they always say that. And then the educated, too. They always try to act like they're so smart. Because, I have a degree. It's like, okay, what do you have your degree in? Something useless? Literally useless that you will never be able to use anywhere because you got the most pointless, stupid degree just to say you have a degree. Oh, I got a master's in lesbian dance theory. Oh, cool. What kind of job are you going to get with that? Nothing? Wow, you're so smart. You know, why don't you get a degree in something real? Like I did. You know, engineering and mathematics. 2 degrees. I have 3. My third one's kind of useless. It was just like a starter degree. But, you know, engineering and mathematics, those are both very useful degrees. But I must be stupid because I'm Republican. I'm on the right, so I'm dumb, right? I didn't get a degree in lesbian dance theory. I got a degree in something practical that the real world can actually utilize. But yeah. And they try to act like, what was the other thing I was saying? That they think they're so much smarter, and they think that we're in a cult and all this. And yeah, but they're the ones that are. They just blindly go with whatever the talking points are. Oh, what's the talking points for today? Okay, George Soros, thanks for giving me this Cliff Notes here so I know what to say. And all these idiots just follow into it. All the people that are on the left, the Democrats, they just listen to the quote-unquote news and just, yeah, okay. At least us on the right, we actually analyze and we're like, wait, what? No, why is this saying this? That don't make sense. But we're the idiots, right? Anyways, I don't really know what else to say. I wish I could remember more of what Trump's enacted. I know it's been a lot of awesome stuff, though, and that's all I really wanted to come on here and just talk about, was just how great it's going. Week 1, phenomenal. And yeah, just looking forward to what else is there, what else is to come. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of awesome stuff to come. I've been watching my stock portfolio too, just to try to see how it's doing. It seems to be doing well. It wasn't much to begin with, but as of the beginning of this year, actually, was it the beginning of this year, or was it on Trump's inauguration? It might have been on Trump's inauguration. I took a screenshot of what it was just to see how quickly it could grow, because I figured the stock market would start booming with him back in office. And my portfolio has grown about, I think, $100. So it's not crazy, but considering that it's not even that much to begin with, $100 is kind of a lot if you look at it percentage-wise. It's about a 5% increase. So if you have a lot of money in the stock market and you gain 5%, that could be huge. $1 million would be what, $50,000? That's a lot. So yeah, I don't know if that's just by chance that it's growing like that, or if it has anything to do with Trump. I would imagine it is, because I hear about how the S&P and all this have hit like record highs, and the stock market is just doing crazy right now. So, you know, the only problem with the stock market is it fluctuates. So it could be doing phenomenal right now, and my portfolio could really blow up and grow, which would be great. But then you could get a dickhead in there like Kamala could win somehow in 2028, or Gavin Newsom or something, and then it just tanks, and then there goes all my money. The only positive side is I'd have a lot more shares that I bought over time, and now shares would be cheaper, so any money that's like dividends that are getting reinvested, or any money that I invest, could allow me to buy more shares. So then when the stock market goes up, then I can have an even greater boost than I currently would be having. So that's the only positive side, but still, it does look like crap when you see it go down. But anyway, yeah, so I don't know. But I have been tracking this daily just to see how it does, because, you know, it's been pretty cool. I mean, even just today, it gained like another $15 over the course of the day. So, yeah, anyways, I guess that's all I got. So thanks for checking this out. Stay tuned for the next 4 years of this awesome Trump reign. It should be way better than anything that he would have ever done, too, if he didn't lose to Biden. That's one thing I always think. Like, 2020 sucked because it was like, how did Biden, quote-unquote, win? How did Trump, quote-unquote, lose? But I feel like it's one of those things that's like a blessing in disguise, as they say, you know? Because it's like, if Trump won, yeah, things would have been great. We wouldn't be in a mess right now. But I don't think they would be as good as they will be this time around. This time around, Trump's had time to think. He's had 4 years to think about it. He's also been able to watch Biden absolutely fail, which has helped him come up with like more ideas on what to do to secure the country's future, I guess you could say, to counteract these Democrats. And he's gone through a lot of nonsense. The DOJ just pursuing him, suing him over stupid things, trying to indict him, making him a felon and all this. So he's had all that trash come at him too. So he's just had a lot of time to really reflect and think and just, you know, just have that fire. I mean, look at his official portrait. Last time around, it was a smile. You know, normal, happy-looking guy. Now, it's basically his mugshot with the background change from being the what was it, Florida Sheriff's Department, to being a flag. Like, that's his official portrait now, because that's how he feels. Like, you know what? Fuck all of you. You put me through all this hell, and now it's my turn to tear things up and make the country great, but in the process, probably make your lives hell, since you guys like things being destroyed and disorganized and disasterly. But anyways, yeah, I guess that's all I got now. So thanks for checking this out with me, and until next time, I said see ya.